What's good, my genies? It's your girl Genesee, and I'm back.
Hands up high, hands up high. Tell them turn the lights down right now. Put me in the booth. I'm talking about dark blue perfume. Go, go. I recognize your
I hope you guys are doing absolutely amazing. Happy holidays. Welcome to Vlogmas Day 9. Please do forgive me for the sudden turn of events with just like uploading a little bit behind schedule. I know today is the 12th, okay, but I had life to deal with. I had just human things that we all deal with that just occurred where I needed to take a breather and take a minute. But I'm back, and I'm gonna try and upload a few videos just to catch up. But Vlogmas is still very much intact and we are doing it, okay. But yeah, before I get started, I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been tuning into the channel. Hi to all my new subscribers, and we're nearly at 100 subs. And I know I keep saying that it's a small milestone, but it's one that I want to hit, and it's definitely something I wanted to do before the end of the year. So I'm hoping that with Vlogmas we can recruit some more genies on the channel, and I can share my experiences and just like day-to-day vlogs and whatever it is that you guys want to see. But yeah, I'm hoping that I can just share more experiences with you and kind of just like I'm trying to figure out how transparent I want to be on my channel. I was mentioning it to somebody the other day. I was just like, I'm not sure how much of my life I want to put online. But I think so far so good. And I've really been enjoying being able to share my journey of living abroad with you guys. So yeah, before we get started, please make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you like and comment as well. But yeah, so I kind of wanted to get into just more about like living abroad. If you're new here, hello, hi, my name's Genesee, and I am new here to Toronto. I'm from London, and like it's so funny because as much as I thought I'd done enough research before I up and left the UK, there's definitely things that I've learned from living here now that I will use if I go on to move somewhere else, which will probably be the case as I'm just looking to travel and kind of like see where I want to settle down and kind of like have a base. So yeah, like I just wanted to, if anybody that's watching this channel or anybody that's watching this video is looking to move abroad, or if you're thinking about like just changing environments, or I hope that these are a few tips that I use myself before me moving out here, how I prepared to get out here, um and how those things have like made it easier in transitioning to a different country. So the first thing that I done before even starting the whole process of getting my visa for Canada was just kind of like understanding what it was that I was moving for and why I wanted to move. And like I said, there's things obviously that I've learned since actually making the big move. There's things that I've learned that I probably could have done differently, or I could have researched a little bit more. However, we live and we learn. But yeah, I would just say kind of like really getting a good idea as to why you want to move or why you want to leave your home, or whatever country you're living in, and kind of write down a list of things that you want to experience from living somewhere that is different to where you are currently based. And the reason why I say this is because a lot of the time we can be, I don't know, it's probably not the case for everybody, but I'm quite impulsive, and like once I have an idea I just want to act on it, and sometimes I act on things without actually sitting down and putting some real good thought into it. Even though I'm a Capricorn, okay, there are times, okay, I'll be honest, where I'm very impulsive. But my reasons for leaving the UK had a lot to do with it's just, as a whole, it's just not a place that I couldn't see myself like having kids in the UK. Let me not say the UK. Let me say London isn't somewhere that I ever would want to like have kids, or settle down, or purchasing a house would be lovely, but London is extortionate. And yeah, it's just not somewhere I could see myself being. I also think it's just a very miserable place because we have so much going on. Let's not even get into the politics and the government, okay? And the UK do better, because the world's going to shits. Okay, the world's going to shits, and the UK aren't really doing a good job at playing a good role in what society needs. And I just never felt like I wanted to be a part of just anything that they've got going on. It's just they don't I don't really mess with the government back home, okay. I don't really mess with a lot of governments, but nevertheless, that was definitely one of the main reasons. And also, I kind of felt really stagnant, and I felt a bit stuck, and I felt like no matter how many things I was achieving, or like how many good opportunities were coming up, and it doesn't matter how like good certain things would get, I always felt really stagnant. And I didn't realize how much changing your environment can help with feeling stagnant. And now, if you're somebody who's, you got your money up, you're financially stable, you're, financially independent, and you're kind of like, you're kind of good when it comes to your finances, you could probably achieve that feeling by just going on holidays and making sure you're traveling and going on trips, and your base could be wherever your base is. Whereas, like, I was definitely traveling. Like, if you've been on my channel for a minute, you'll know that I go to and throw. I was going to and throw the UK to LA quite a lot. I've gone on countless holidays and vacations, so I'm very grateful, to say the least. But it was never enough. I would go away to LA and I'd be like, oh my God, like, the way I could live here, the way I could just live here, even if it wasn't forever. It was just somewhere that it was just a breath of fresh air. It was a culture shock, because things are very different in the States to the UK. And it was just nice. And it was like a reset that I needed to kind of like, it was just like a fresh start. We all deserve fresh starts, and don't let anybody make you think that you can't start over however many times you need to. You can restart over and over and over and over and over again until you feel content with however your life is. So a change of environment can definitely help with feeling like stagnant and stuck. And that was another reason why I wanted to leave. I also wanted to leave the UK just because I felt like my how can we say it? I just felt as if I had reached a certain level of the point that I was at in life. I felt like I had, kind of done what I wanted to do there. And then it was almost like when I'd look around, maybe my peers, maybe the people I was working with or whatever, it kind of felt like I'd reached a certain level where it's like, okay, what now? Who can I learn from? Who's going to inspire me? I felt like I was doing that so much for other people. I was being the voice for people to, stay motivated. I was always the friend that was kind of like putting other people on or passing out opportunities, or, I was kind of doing that. And then when it came down to it, like, I just don't feel like I was on the receiving end of that. And a lot of the time, when you have a look at your life, or where you're at in life, it has a lot to do with your environment, the people that you're around, your peers, the job that you're in. Like, if you feel like you've conquered, or you feel like you've achieved a certain level, when it comes to your life, you got to find a new height to reach. You got to keep reaching new heights. And I just felt stuck. Okay, so me moving was a chance for me to, meet new people in different environments from different walks of life, possibly meet more people who feel similar to me. Like I said, I've met a lot of British people out here in Canada since I've been here, who we have very similar mindsets when it comes to why we moved, and what we moved for, and what we were trying to achieve out here, which has been such a beautiful thing, and it's been very reassuring. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to switch up my life entirely so that I could see some different results, and I wanted to reach new heights. And nevertheless, I know it's only been 6 months, but I've definitely felt like I've achieved that from the friends that I've met out here. It just feels like there's more of like a given, that there's more of like a like reciprocity, like reciprocation, when it comes to just like what you can do for people and what people can do for you, and adding value to people's lives and people adding value to yours. Like, there has to be a balance, and I just don't feel like I got that back home in the UK. So yeah, that was another reason why I wanted to move. And yeah, I could have probably done that just by moving to a different city, or going to Europe, or whatever the case may be, but I just wanted to, the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. And that's how I'm seeing it. And even though I feel like I'm at a stage where things are a little bit, I wouldn't say I'm where I'm at right now, especially when it comes to like career and stuff, but we're making it work. And it was definitely the reboot that I needed to, like a kick up the arse. It was like, okay, now we have to make it work. We don't really have a choice. So that was another one of my reasons for leaving the UK. So yeah, I would definitely just say, make sure you figure out what it is that you are trying to achieve by leaving your hometown, or wherever it is that you currently are. Another thing I would say you can do to prepare to move abroad is research where you are going to live. Okay, maybe I should have. Okay, so long story cut short, the last time I had been to Canada, before I moved out here, was 10 years prior. 10 years ago. Now, you would think I would have taken a trip out here to kind of like scope it out a little bit, maybe see different areas, and like kind of see where I'd want to, like actually move to. But no, like I said, I'm impulsive, and I just got up and left and went there. First time in 10 years. Okay. So I would say, like, if you have the money, if you have the means to, especially if you're deciding to move somewhere that you haven't been before, or it's been a while since you've been, I definitely say go and take the time, even if it's like a short weekend where you can just go view some houses, you can kind of go see shit for yourself, just so that when you do arrive, you have a little bit more of just clarity on like the environment that you're about to live in. Because moving all your packing up your life and moving abroad is not for the weak, okay? It's not for the weak. It's challenging, and yeah, you just kind of want to have a little bit of an inkling as to what you're getting yourself in for when you arrive. Because yeah, I had people, all my friends that lived in Toronto, um, before I moved out, they were all like, "Why are you moving to Toronto? Like, why would you do that?" Like, da, da, da. And I'd be like, "Because I want to." And then they would tell me all the reasons why they don't think I should move to Toronto. And then I'd be like, "Ah, yeah, it'll be fine. Don't worry." And like, obviously, as people, we always want to be where we're not. Like, we can never appreciate where we are. So people from Toronto were telling me, "Why the hell would you move to Toronto?" And then when I'm in Toronto now, people are like, "Oh, I want to move to London." I'm like, "Why the hell would you do that?" But that's because I've lived there, and it's because they live there. They had a bunch of shit to say to me about Toronto. Let's just say it was negative stuff, okay? But then I've arrived, and all of those things that my peers were trying to tell me, I have now seen for myself. And let me just say, they're not bad. They're not extremely bad things. They're not like, you know, like they're not really bad, but they're definitely things that I was like, oh, I just didn't expect it to be what it is, basically. And maybe if I had, come out here for like a week before actually moving out here, I would have seen that. But then maybe I wouldn't have come here. So who knows? That is something you could do. I would definitely say, especially if it's your first time going to this place, I'd definitely say take a trip there first, just so you can kind of scope it out. Because, moving all your stuff abroad and then deciding when you get there that you want to move somewhere else, honey. I mean, life is for the living, but to each their own. So yeah, and another thing I would say you could do to prepare to move abroad is make sure you have looked at the conversion rates when it comes to the currency exchange from wherever you are to wherever you're going. Now, the pound is obviously quite strong, and it meant that my pound stretched when I got over to Canada, so it meant that I got basically more for my money. However, then when since I've been living here, uh as much as it looked and felt like my pound was lasting more, because in hindsight you get the Canadian dollars thoroughly weak. It was kind of like, because of the taxes and because of the tipping culture and because of just like inflation and the cost of living, your dollar does not last, especially depending on where you live. There are areas where you could probably get, more for your buck. But where I live, honey, shit is expensive. Everything is yeah, so stuff is really expensive out here, and I think there's more to take into account in terms of like cost. The cost of living is kind of different out here, very much the same in terms of negative, but it feels different than it does in the UK, and how it affects people. So by the way, my mic has died, so just bear with the sound difference. But yeah, so I would definitely take into account, make sure you do some research on wherever it is that you're looking to move to. Does it make sense in terms of, if you've saved up money, which is another point that I suggest we speak on. Make sure you save your money before you move. Make sure you got money, a rainy day money. Make sure you got a sunny day money. Make sure you got a social life money. Make sure you got investment money. Make sure you do. It doesn't have to be a lot, okay? I know times is hard, gal. Times is hard, guys. I know. Trust me, I know. But do a good job at putting your money away and like saving it, and kind of like dividing your money, so you've got money for this, money for that, money for this, whatever the case may be. But yeah, whatever money you have saved to take abroad with you, you just kind of want to see like, okay, so what am I going to get for this money? Is it going to now look less? Obviously, if it's the pound, majority of the time you're going to get more for your money because we have a strong pound. Whereas if I was in Canada and if I'm from Canada, oh, let's just say like now I'm in Canada, and when I want to move somewhere else, yes, I still have pounds, but the money that I'm making out here in Toronto, when I now save that and then go somewhere else, I'm probably going to get less for my money now, because the Canadian dollar's weak. Do you get it? So me going home with my Canadian dollars, like going back to the UK, is going to feel like robbery, because I'm going to get, like, I'm pretty sure. So I can take 100 Canadian dollars and get like £60, more or less, give or take. Like, it's daylight robbery, guys, okay? So yeah, you just kind of want to make sure you're not setting yourself up to, the money that you've worked hard on saving in order to live abroad. Like, you don't want to feel like you've been robbed when you finally reach your destination, because you didn't realize how much the currency exchange was. You didn't realize how much the exchange was, okay? So make sure you research in that aspect. And yeah, make sure you research everything to do with like taxes, tipping culture, different costs that you might have to now live up to and experience. when you move, because everywhere is different. Okay, we really don't even have a tipping culture like that in the UK. You do it out of the kindness of your heart, but it is not a necessity. Whereas over here, it's like, that's something you better do. The tax over here is crazy also. So yeah, I don't know, it's just, it's more so just a thing of like, just making sure you've done your research about where you are going. I think it's really, really, really important. And yeah, another thing, the last thing that I'll touch on before I close out this video is, I feel like it's always good to meet people online. I know some people are like skeptical about it, and I know I've spoken about it before, but like apps like Bumble are really helpful because you can have a friend profile instead of a dating one, which means it's completely it's literally just to meet friends. You meet a lot of people on there that are traveling abroad. You'll probably end up meeting people from wherever you're from that have moved wherever you're going to as well. It really helped me because obviously that's how I met my friend Taz that you guys saw on previous videos. We met on Bumble, and like, you know, it's made my journey out here a lot smoother and a lot easier, just being able to meet different people from different walks of life, like I said before, that are, you know, trying to do something similar. So yeah, with that being said, I hope these are a few things that you can kind of like, you know, maybe use while you're on this journey on trying to live abroad or thinking about living abroad. And yeah, I really wish you all the best if that is what you are doing. If you have any questions, or you kind of want to know a little bit more about myself and like why I'm why I'm just on this journey of trying to find my forever home, make sure you can go back and watch all my previous videos on why I moved to Canada, etc, etc, and my journey out here. Please subscribe. We're nearly at 100 subscribers. I'm so excited. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you've enjoyed this one. And yeah, TTYL.